Good morning, everyone. I'm back, and I'm back to do a check-in on California. So today is Friday, October the 14th. I've angled the camera a little bit different, basically because I want you guys to be able to see more of the cards, and I'm hoping this works. Like I've said a lot, this is a non-professional setup. I really did just start doing this to help people find some inspiration and some positivity during a time that things weren't so inspiring or positive. So, yeah, not a professional setup. Clearly not my full-time job. That's why there's long gaps. But I do try to get on and do these readings because I do feel like I do feel like because I was guided to do it, they are important to whatever degree. I don't know. But so yeah, so today we're going to do a check-in with California. I've made some notes. So someone commented on one of my readings and asked if we could check into California because I would say the person that they said has seen this is a psychic. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this person. And I'm not going to say her name because I kind of find that a little bit disrespectful to go throwing people's names around on my channel. I don't know. It just doesn't feel very respectful to me because I don't have her permission to do that. So I'm not going to say the psychic's name, but I'm assuming she's a psychic or possibly she's a reader. Or, you know, I'm not sure what her medium is, whether, you know, what type of channeling she does. But apparently she has picked up on seeing, this is what the comments said, seeing an entire sheet of California being struck by an earthquake, and the comment said sliding off into the future. So I'm not sure exactly what she meant by that, if she meant that in the future, the psychic sees a whole slice of California sliding off into the ocean, or if she meant it quite literal, that the psychic sees a whole sheet of California literally like disappearing and going off, sliding off in this earthquake and sliding off into the future. I'm sure that that's probably not what she meant. But anyways, I've discussed this with my highest self, my source, and my guides. So they know clearly what the person who asked me to do this reading today meant by that. They know. So I don't necessarily have to know the exact detail. I will say this though, throughout my entire life, that as far back as I can remember, like preteen, before I was a teenager, this has been a rumor that has been going around for a long time, that California is going to sustain such a quake that it ceased to exist. That, you know, and then the other rumor was that it was going to be a huge chunk of California that was going to go off into the sea. And yeah, so we've been hearing this, and I've been around a while. So we've been hearing this for a while. I want to say, when we're picking up on things out there in the ethers, sometimes I believe we're picking up on what the controllers, the nefarious ones, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, right? Those that don't have our highest and greatest good for intentions. I think we're picking up a lot of the times on what it is that they want to implement. And I think that's good, but it can also be bad. So I think it's good in the way that we pick up on what it is that they want to implement, because then it's our duty, honestly, to heal it. I feel, in my humble opinion, this is just my opinion, guys, okay? So I feel in my humble opinion that it's our duty to heal it or see it mending. But I think that they put it out there in the ethers to be picked up on because they have created a society that's based in fear. And so we've talked about this a lot, right? So they've created the society that's based in fear. So they put these things out in the ethers for people to pick up on, so that then when that information is shared or talked about, unbeknownst to us, who are very magical, and they know that, unbeknownst to us, whenever we talk about it or whenever we get in fear over it, we're helping to create their reality. So again, working for them for free. But as we awaken and we become more and more aware of what they're up to, and we become more and more aware of our own magic, when we pick up on those things, instead of going into a fear base, we can go into an empowering base and say, no, I don't agree to that. So I'm going to use my personal power and my magic to see that mending, to see that healed, to see that tamed, or however you want to go about it. But believe me, you have that power. They've just taught you you haven't. And we really have to go about the business of unlearning everything that they've taught us. There's so much that they've taught us that's wrong, to keep us small and working for them for free, manifesting what it is that they want us to manifest for them for free. And I also want to say this, a lot of psychics pick up on things and then it doesn't happen. And I do believe it's because a lot of people are out there working to mend it. And I also believe energy is fluid and it's in constant motion. And so we shift things, the butterfly effect. So let's focus on mending this, right? And let's focus on saying we don't consent to this. Because when I read this, knowing what I know now, I believe that most of this weather stuff that we see is manipulated, right? So when I read this, the first thing that I said is, I don't consent to that. I don't consent to this. And in my mind's eye, I see it mended. And let's all do that together. Okay? There's power in numbers. All right. So I've set the intentions. The universe knows what we're asking about. So we want to see if there's truth to this rumor that's going around right now, what this woman picked up on for information, for psychic information. We want to know if this is actually going to happen, okay? So we're asking if it's true. Well, goodness. I'm going to move the crystals back a little bit. Can you guys... I'm hoping you can see these a little better with the way that's angled. But... okay, so... this is interesting, you guys. So the cards that I'm getting on this, the entire energy that's driving this reading, I think this is important, okay? The whole energy that's driving this reading is an ending. It's an ending of some work that was going into something, and so disappointments. Okay, so that's what's driving the reading. And then representing the question, is it true? We have the King of Wands, and that's a noble card. The King of Wands, to me, represents nobility, honor, truth. You know, a really good card, really like noble and telling the truth, okay? So I would say there was some truth in this. There was some truth in what she's picking up on. So I hate giving this type of news, but we'll continue to read and we'll see what else we get, okay? We'll go deeper. So I would say there is some truth in that because this is a noble card and above it celebration. So yes, she should be celebrated for her good work in picking up on this out there. There is some truth in that. However, across from that, we have the Hanged Man. So it's like, be still, be still. Be enlightened. Be enlightened, right? And above that, we have the Ace of Cups, which is water. So I'm thinking that the quake would be more of a water event, okay? So there's definitely truth in what this person is picking up on, but it says here that there's an ending also. So like there's a lot of truth around what she's picking up, and but what's driving the reading is ending the work that's been going into, and a lot of disappointments. So I'm wondering if, let's ask the cards, is this, let's go off the disappointment card, and let's go off the doing the work too. The doing the work too. And let's ask really deliberately if this was something that was like a dark hat operation, or if this, you know, we want to know, is this something that nature really did have in store, or is this like a dark hat operation that she was picking up on? So let's take a peek at that, okay? We have to ask the cards a lot of questions around this, you guys, because cards are specific. And we just went over why things are true but don't happen. So we want to go deeper, right? We want to see, is this an event that's still going to like transpire, right? So I'm going to ask the cards off of this. I guess I'm going to go off of the ending. And I'm going to ask very clearly, is this, does this mean that this was a dark hat operation and it can't transpire? So is that what this means? That that it was a dark hat operation and it can't transpire? And the reason why I asked that is because this is an ending and it's water. And up top we got a yes to in answer to the question. But we also have this Hanged Man, so be still, wait, be enlightened. It could cause quite a water event, is what it's looking like. But we have this ending and a lot of work that went in to create disappointments. So we want to see, so now we know that she's picking up on something that is true. There is truth to what she's seeing, okay? And now we want to know if it is a dark hat operation, okay? So we're going to ask if it's a dark hat operation. It's an operation that's had work go into it. We've got two working cards. So we have this card that says a lot of seeds were planted, and right, which is putting the work into something and then waiting for it to sprout on its own. And then we have this card that is like that literally doing the work, right? So a lot of seeds were planted. A lot of seeds were planted in the community, because this is like, this is sharing, right? This is sharing. So seeds were planted so that we would share this information. And this is the Knight of Wands. So seeds were planted so that we would share this information. And it looks like there was information shared by like a military force. Like to move the information fast, because these are driven by fire, right? So this is a fiery card. So seeds were planted for us to share the information so that it would spread far and wide fast, right? Because this is a fast-moving fire card. Yeah, and again, so that it would move fast, so that the word would move fast. I would say it's a dark hat operation, wouldn't you? So I would say this was planned. This isn't a natural event, you guys. So she's picking up on something that was planted by the dark hat. So, yeah. And that's what we asked. So they planted the seeds so that we would share the information, so that the information would move far and wide really fast. And they gave us 2 really fast moving cards to let us know, coming quick, share it fast, get it out there, share it fast. But it was shared by the dark hats. It was shared by the devil. Trickery. So now we have an understanding of whose plot and plan this is, and why they would want that information out there into the ethers, right? And why they would want it out there in the ethers, not just like on the news or the chatter that's been going on about it probably my whole life, but why they would want a trusted psychic to pick up on that. I swear they put this stuff out into the ethers so that trusted psychics pick up on that energy. And then when they tell you what they've seen, people really go into fear mode, right? But if we don't react the way we always did react, the way they count on us to react, and a trusted psychic picks up on that information, and then they give it to us, and they say, this is what I just saw, or this is what I've been seeing. If we, instead of going into fear mode to feed it, if we go into our power to heal it, then we're not working for them. They need us to consent. And a lot of the times they really do. They need us to consent. So they will take us consenting by accepting it as a reality and talking about it as though it's going to happen. I need to get a sip of my coffee. It's morning here where I'm at right now. And I don't have my regular cup, you guys. I have a different cup. But I got this one from my boyfriend. It says, you're a great dad, a really great dad, the best really. Other dads, losers, total disasters. Everyone agrees, believe me. And it's obviously a Trump cup, right? But I can drink out of it too sometimes when my other cup is dirty, because I have spent my parenting life often being both mom and dad, so. And I can say that because my son always wishes me a happy Father's Day as well as a happy Mother's Day. So what I'm going to ask now, so now we've established that this woman that picked up on this energy, she's noble and she is picking up on truth. So celebrate her for picking up on this information, right? Across from it, it says, be still though, like allow for the enlightenment to come in, right? And we did get a yes. But we also got a yes with the water cup. I mean, with the cups, which is the water. So I'm wondering if, if what these guys were planning is like a multiple event, like, quakes and water. Often a psychic can't pick up on every storm that they're going to use in conjunction, right? But she's seeing like the major thing. So there is truth to what she's seeing according to what I'm getting. We got that it was planned. It's a dark hat operation, and they really do want everybody chattering about it and talking about it so that we can kind of manifest that into being for them. It's like we've accepted it. It's like we've said, okay, yeah, do that, right, California. So now that we know those two things, that there's truth to what this woman is saying, and that it's not a natural disaster, it's actually set up by the dark hats. That's what they're wanting. And they're actually wanting us to do the work, spreading it far and wide, hot and fast, for them, working for them for free. Now it's our duty to start healing it, right? So it's our duty, honestly, if it's been brought into our attention and into our consciousness, it's our duty now to see that mended and work to mend that and not go into fear, because going into fear helps manifest that for them. So it's really our duty to say, no, we don't consent to you people doing that, and we're going to heal this. So the next question I want to see is, now that we know that there's some truth to all of this and that she picked up on something very legitimate, kudos to her. Kudos to her for making it aware so that we can all kind of delve deeper into this and we can mend it and we can heal it and we can not consent, right? So now let's look and see what the cards say about, is this an event that could happen? Is this an event that could happen? Like, okay, so we know that it's out there in the ethers for this woman to have picked up on. We know that there's truth to that because we know that's what the Black Hats wanted to happen. So now let's look to see if it will happen. Let's look to see if it's going to be able to happen. Okay? So let's look at that. Because there's always more to it than just picking up on something. Okay, you guys? And we've got to remember our power, right? And how they've been using our power for so long. All right, so. Whoop. Oh, we're getting some of the same cards here. Okay, you guys, it looks like this could happen. It looks like this could happen. I don't like giving readings like this. I wish I could just like take a magic wand and bippity boppity boo everything away. But I think part of the reason why I was asked to do this reading is so that I could encourage all of you to help mend this, okay? So it does look like this could happen, and it looks like it could happen fast, and it's saying that, you know, we may have to surrender to that. Across from it, it's saying, you know, the communities have been through a lot of these already, pretty beaten up over these earthquakes, right? I mean, it's been going on in California for a long time. But again, driving this reading, we have the ending, the 10 of Cups, right? And we have the Queen Manifestor, and we have the looking out. So part of the journey is behind this. So this isn't the one where he's holding the globe in his hand and he's looking out at the whole new world. But this one, if you look at this, this is Wands, this is the journey, this is driven by fire, okay? So if you look at this, he's got 3 wands, right? It's like he's been through something. He's come partway through his journey, and he's made it through some stuff. He's holding this wand, but it's kind of like behind him a bit. So it's like that part of the journey is in the background. And then if you look, this wand is behind him. Clearly, it's behind him. And this wand is behind him. Okay? And so all of these 3 wands are behind him, and he's looking out into this, like, yeah, it's the ocean. It is. It's little boats. Yeah, they just don't have it as blue, but you know, it's little boats. He's looking out over the ocean, and he's thinking about the next route to take. Where do I go from here? Right? So it's like he's deciphering his options. He's deciphering his options. And the Mass Manifestor, the Queen of Wands, you know, she's saying, by being directly under him, you got to manifest it. You got to manifest it. So if you want this ending, you've got to manifest it. We've got to manifest it somehow. This is the thing though, you guys. I don't understand all of the weather and how it works. With what I've been learning that some of these things are like set into play for many years, and they have to do all of these different steps to make this happen or that happen. And so they kind of, they put a lot of work into it. And that's what we just saw with that other set of cards, right? A lot of work goes into these events that they create and work to create. So this is saying that, you know, it could happen. It's not giving me a definite yes, but it's like, it's still in the ethers of possibility of happening, you guys. So it's not a definite yes, but it's saying it could move in and we may have to surrender to it. But it's also saying that we could end it through manifestation. So the work that we would put in, maybe an agency being able to go in and undo what they've done. I don't know how all of it works. Just like you guys, we're just all learning this together, right? But it's saying the community is tired of this. I don't even know when the last quake was there. I remember some terrible ones in my lifetime though. Terrible, terrible. But it is saying the community is just really beaten up and tired of it. So I'm going to ask, so it looks like this is like, they're not saying that it will happen and they're not saying that it won't happen. So off of the, I'm going to go off of the manifester. I'm already 26 minutes in, you guys. And I've only got 34 minutes that it's saying my camera will only, it's saying for whatever reason, it's only going to allow me 34 minutes of filming. So I'm going to go off the manifester and I'm going to ask if, I'm going to ask straight up, are they just not, is this an indefinite thing? Is this an indefinite, like, it's up in the air and it depends. It may or may not happen. That's how I'm reading this, and I just want clarification on that. Okay? I want clarification. Is this one of those events that, you know, we just don't know yet if it will or won't happen? Fate. Is that what we're looking at here? Page of Swords. Yeah. There are things that could transpire that could stop it. And there are things that could transpire that would allow it to go ahead. And I wish that I had better news for you. But as I'm saying that, I'm thinking in my head, we've got to manifest it out. We've got to mend it. And as I'm saying that, and I pulled that last card, I got the victory card. So let's say we don't agree to it, and let's start manifesting it healed. Let's see that healed. Like, let's literally do the energy work and the visualization of healing this event, you guys. And let's all say we don't agree to this. No matter where you are in the world, you too do not agree to this happening to California. And let's check in on this in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and check in to see if we've all been like doing our work to manifest and heal and mend this. And then see what the cards give us for insight then. But right now what I'm getting is it could or it couldn't happen. She did pick up on information that's out there in the ethers, and it's a planned event. It's like the bad guys are hoping for it to happen. So let's shift this on them, you guys. Let's not manifest for them for free by being in fear. Let's stand in our power, say we don't consent, and start seeing that healed. I've done that with other things, and it works. So let's all do that together, okay? All right, you guys. I'm going to come back on and I'm going to do another more uplifting reading. But please, somebody, whoever is watching, because I get a lot of emails and I'm getting a lot of messages and I'm getting a lot of requests. But please, somebody remind me to look back in on this, okay? We'll give it a month, we'll give it several weeks or whatever, but let's look back in on this. And let's keep checking back in on this, okay? All right, you guys, I'm sorry I didn't have better news. I mean, I'm sorry. But this is an end all. This says it could or it could not. So let's work to stop it. All right. Many, many blessings. Much, much love. Stay positive. Stay positive. Stay in that vibration of positivity. Stand in your power. Laugh, dance, sing. Meditate. Pamper yourself. Go for a walk in the woods. Take care of yourself. And let's all work together to mend this event for California. All right, you guys. And this is just what I'm getting, you guys. Like, don't take it as gospel either. Like, remember, the energy is always shifting and it's always changing. And this is just what I'm getting right now today. That's why I want to check back in on it. All right, you guys. Many blessings. Much, much love from me to all of you. Until next time, take care.